So, the elephant in the room, Prop 8. I know we're not exactly striking when the iron is hot on this one, but I think that any kind of talk that we're going to have going forward between the gay community and the LDS community, this is kind of a launching pad because they've made their view very clear that marriage is for a man and a woman, and they're clearly going to fight tooth and nail on every level to ensure that there are the separate water fountains and there are the separate bathrooms, and you guys are over here and the rest of us are over here. And I've actually found it really heartening that I think I've just my personal experience. I've heard a lot of Mormons, and Mormons I know are probably more on the liberal end, but I've heard Mormons say, this is not the kind of thing I want my church standing up for. But that aside, the institution that is the Mormon Church has made its stance very clear that you are not an equal citizen. You can have domestic partnerships, but let's be honest, separate but equal didn't work in the civil rights movement, and it's not going to work now.
Right.
And so, how do you feel about the institution of the Mormon Church? I mean, do they? We talked about how, do you feel like they're like people coming down on you for being who you are?
Let's discuss this from the atheist perspective.
Okay.
The top of the church, what's his name?
Moroni.
No, I have no idea.
Oh, I thought you meant the statue.
The living top of the church.
No, the new prophet since Hinckley died. I have no idea who it is.
Monson, I think, is his
Couldn't
name.
care less.
He supposedly he's the one who gives revelations out.
Right. God's infallible wingman, just like the Pope.
Right. But as an atheist, you don't believe in God, right? And so his revelations are entirely coming from within.
Right.
And he's a man who is steeped in traditions from years ago. He's a little elderly.
Right.
So the things that he's putting forward are things that he was brought up to, in much the same way that I talked about my mother being brought up to things that her mother was brought up to.
Right.
Sure. Same chain exists, and so he is just passing that right on down. He feels like he's doing right.
Mm-hmm.
He may actually even feel like there's a deity. Honestly, I don't believe a lot of people, the higher ups in the Mormon Church, do believe there's a deity. I think there's a lot of doubt up there.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think there has to be when you're that steeped in it.
That is certainly a possibility, and it's hard for us to know.
And it could just be a product of the groupthink, because whatever revelations he's getting, from the atheist perspective, he's getting them internally, or he's getting them from the social expectation of, hey, you're supposed to be having these revelations, and this is what we expect the revelations are going to sound like.
Right.
But you're right, we can't know.
So I find it really hard to hold that against the Mormon Church.